Hi, I'm Adam Lovelock from Coconut Creatives, and this is Whiteboard Weekly. So it's a new video series I'm going to do every single week, tackling different questions of anything to do with marketing in the franchise world. So if you have any ideas of videos that you'd like me to cover, please comment below. But today we're going to be looking at the franchise recruitment market in the UK in 2018 so far. So again, I'll be very interested in how you're finding things at the moment. So the current landscape, I think, in franchise recruitment in the UK is pretty difficult. I think lots of brands are finding it quite hard. Now, we are Google partners, so we do lots of Google AdWords on behalf of a range of different franchisors to help them recruit more franchisees. And by doing this work, we see some really key information, which I think is useful to share with you to give you an idea of the landscape at the moment, because you can be pretty much assured everyone that buys a franchise or becomes a franchise lead for you at some point will turn to Google. So looking at the Google search traffic of everyone looking at franchises in the UK, we get a good idea about how many people are looking for a franchise at any one time. So looking at the stats over the last 12 months now, typically in the franchise recruitment world, we see a very kind of steady 12-month curve of different times. So what we normally see is a drop-off over the summer and then a spike in September, and that happened last year. We then normally see a drop-off all the way to December and things get really quiet over Christmas time. Then typically in January and February, inquiries and people searching spike again, but this year it didn't happen. So we had the drop off in December, and then there was a slight uplift in January, and then a bit more of an uplift in February of people searching for franchise opportunities, but nowhere near the kind of spikes that we normally see. So the start of this year has seen quite a big downturn in the amount of people in the UK searching for franchise opportunities. Now, when we look over a 5-year period, and the graph here is poor, so we'll put a picture up, what you can see is these spikes. So you always see the September spike, drop off, January, February spike, drop off, and that's pretty consistent over a 5-year period. But as you can see, there is a trend that over the 5 years, there is slightly less searches, and coming up to the start of this year, we're at the lowest point it's been in 5 years. So it's a very, very tough environment at the moment. Why is it a tough environment? Well, Brexit, what we can see with this traffic, if you plot Brexit, if you plot general elections, any type of uncertainty causes a dip in people searching for franchises. So there's lots of uncertainty around at the moment, which isn't helping. Also, the job market's really, really strong. So with all the uncertainty going on, is also a strong job market. People just aren't looking to move. So that's not helping. And I'm sure Brexit, whether it goes really, really well, really, really badly, won't matter for franchising. Either will be a positive, and we'll probably see an uplift. It's fair to say some of you are probably watching this and thinking, well, that doesn't really apply to me. And there are some sectors which really are unaffected by this, that are still seeing the same amount of searches for their particular sector. But as a franchising as a whole, there definitely is a bit of a dip. So what to do about it? Well, yes, it is a bit of a negative. There are less people looking, and there's much more competition for franchises than there were maybe 5 years ago as well. So the environment's quite tough. But that's not to say that you can't still recruit. And what we're seeing the best franchisors do is really focus on the after lead marketing. So there may be less leads coming into your process, but if you really focus on how you market to any lead once they become a lead, then you can still gain good success and recruit franchisees. Thank you.